You're listening to the clip. Drip, drip, drip. Clip. You're listening to the clip. Don't let it slip. Don't.
The old map smelled of mildew and forgotten things. Kevin traced a finger across the faded ink depicting a place called Yunque, a location mysterious and beautiful.
Seriously? Another one of Grandpa's wild goose chases?
Kenny scoffed, leaning against the doorway of Kevin's cluttered attic. Luis and Freddie were sprawled on beanbag chairs, equally skeptical. Kevin ignored him.
Abuelo always said El Yunque held a secret.
He insisted, his voice hushed with a reverence that bordered on obsession.
Something lost.
The map promised a hidden spring, rumored to grant wishes. Or something far stranger. They'd dismissed it as folklore until Kevin unearthed the map amongst his grandfather's belongings after his passing. They hiked for hours, pushing through dense undergrowth and waterfalls, ignoring Kenny's constant complaints. Finally, they found it. A clearing bathed in an unnatural stillness. In the center stood a single, ancient tabonuco tree, its branches twisted like gnarled fingers. As Freddie reached out to touch the trunk, the air crackled with energy. A low hum resonated from deep within the earth. The ground beneath them began to tremble. Suddenly, symbols carved into the tabonuco's bark glowed with an eerie blue light. And then, a voice, ancient and resonant, echoed through the clearing.
You have been summoned.
Kevin looked at his friends, their faces pale in the strange light. He felt a chilling certainty that they hadn't stumbled upon a spring, but something far more significant and dangerous. The symbols on the tabonuco tree faded as quickly as they appeared, leaving Kevin, Kenny, Luis, and Freddie shaken in the unsettling silence of El Yunque. The voice lingered, a phantom echo in their minds.
Oh, okay.
Kenny stammered, his usual bravado gone.
That was weird.
Luis, ever the pragmatist, pulled out his phone.
No signal. Great.
He muttered.
Just great.
Freddie, usually the most talkative of the group, pointed a trembling finger towards the base of the tabonuco. A small wooden box lay nestled amongst the roots, previously hidden by fallen leaves. Kevin cautiously retrieved it. It was intricately carved with the same symbols that had glowed on the tree. He opened it to find a single object, a tarnished silver compass. Its needle spun wildly, refusing to settle on north.
It's reacting to something,
Kevin said, his voice barely above a whisper. As he spoke, the air grew colder again. A thick fog began to roll in, obscuring the surrounding forest. The trees seemed to lean inwards, their branches forming an oppressive canopy overhead. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, tall and gaunt, with eyes that glowed faintly in the gloom. It wore clothes of woven leaves and bark, its face obscured by shadows.
You seek what was lost.
The figure rasped, its voice like dry leaves skittering across stone.
But some things are best left undisturbed.
The compass needle spun faster, pointing directly at the shadowy figure. Kevin felt a surge of fear, but also an undeniable sense of purpose. They were caught in something far bigger than they could have imagined. Kevin instinctively held up the compass as if it were a shield. The shadowy figure paused, its glowing eyes fixed on the spinning needle.
You possess the key.
It rasped, extending a long, skeletal hand towards Kevin.
The path is open, but beware. It leads to echoes of what was, and shadows of what will be.
Kenny, regaining some of his composure, stepped forward.
Who are you? What do you want?
The figure ignored him, its gaze locked on the compass.
El Yunque remembers.
It continued, its voice a mournful sigh.
It remembers the sundering, when the veil between worlds thinned.
Luis, ever observant, noticed something peculiar about the fog. It wasn't just obscuring the forest. It seemed to be shifting, revealing fleeting glimpses of another place. A city built of shimmering gold, bathed in a diaphanous light. Freddie, his eyes wide with apprehension, pointed towards the figure's feet.
Look!
The ground beneath the figure was rippling, like water disturbed by an unseen force. From the cracks emerged strange, bioluminescent plants, unlike anything they'd ever seen, pulsating with a soft, otherworldly glow.
He's not entirely here.
Luis whispered, his voice filled with awe and fear.
Part of him is somewhere else.
The figure seemed to shudder, its form flickering momentarily between the shadowy woodsman and something more alien.
You must choose.
It said, its voice now a chorus of whispers.
Follow the compass, or turn back before El Yunque consumes you all.
The silver needle spun wildly, then abruptly locked on to a single point, deep. Kevin looked at his friends. Kenny's usual bravado had vanished, replaced by a nervous tension. Luis was meticulously analyzing their surroundings, muttering about energy signatures and dimensional instability. Freddie remained silent, his eyes wide with apprehension. The compass needle pulsed insistently, drawing them deeper into the swirling fog.
We can't just turn back.
Kevin said, surprising himself with his own conviction. He felt a strange connection to this place, a sense of responsibility he couldn't ignore.
Abuelo wouldn't have wanted us to.
Kenny nodded slowly.
He was always chasing something bigger than himself.
The memory of his grandfather's passionate lectures about forgotten histories and hidden truths resonated within him. Luis, after a moment of deliberation, added,
Whatever's on the other side, it's connected to that figure somehow. We need answers, even if they're dangerous.
He adjusted his glasses nervously, trying to rationalize the impossible situation unfolding before them. Freddie swallowed hard and simply said,
Let's go.
His quiet agreement felt like a silent pact, a commitment to face whatever lay ahead, together. Kevin took a deep breath and stepped into the fog, the compass leading the way. The others followed close behind, disappearing, one by one, into the swirling mist. As they crossed the threshold, the shadowy figure vanished, leaving only the echoing words.
The price is steep.
A chill ran down Kevin's spine. He had no idea what that price might be. The fog parted abruptly, revealing a landscape both familiar and alien. It was El Yunque, but transformed. The trees were impossibly tall, their leaves shimmering with an unnatural luminescence. An ancient city, constructed from polished gold, glimmered in the distance, radiating a diaphanous light. But superimposed over this idyllic scene were ghostly images, fleeting glimpses of conflict, destruction, and a people fleeing their homes.
What is this place?
Kenny asked, his voice hushed with awe and confusion. The vibrant colors and impossible architecture defied explanation. Luis pointed towards the shimmering city.
It's like echoes of what used to be.
He theorized that they were witnessing residual energy, impressions left behind by the Taino civilization long gone. As they walked, fragmented memories flooded their minds. Not their own, but impressions of lives lived centuries ago. They saw skilled artisans crafting intricate artifacts, scholars deciphering ancient texts, and families celebrating joyous festivals. Then came the devastation, a cataclysmic event that shattered the veil between worlds, unleashing chaos and destruction. Kevin realized with growing horror El Yunque wasn't just a place. It was a nexus point, a place where past, present, and other realities intersected, leaving behind fragmented echoes of what once was. They were confronted by a woman with eyes that held the weight of centuries. She introduced herself as Shauna, the last guardian of El Yunque. Her presence radiated a quiet strength and profound sadness.
The sundering was not a natural disaster. It was caused by those who sought to control the power between worlds. Individuals greedy for knowledge they couldn't comprehend.
She explained, her voice raspy but clear. She revealed that Kevin's grandfather had been researching the sundering for years, believing he could find a way to repair the veil and prevent further incursions. Shauna warned them of a powerful entity known as the Usurper, the force responsible for the initial breach and now seeking to exploit El Yunque's instability. The compass they held was more than just a navigational tool. It was a key, a conduit to harness the remaining power of the ancient civilization, but also a potential weapon capable of unleashing even greater chaos.
The usurper feeds on despair and fractured memories,
she cautioned.
Be wary of your thoughts, for they can be twisted against you.
She looked at Kevin intently.
Your grandfather left clues. Follow them, carefully.
The usurper manifested as a swirling vortex of darkness, feeding on the fractured memories and emotions trapped within El Yunque. It sought to merge the world with its own realm of shadows, plunging both into eternal twilight. The air grew heavy, thick with an oppressive sense of dread. Kevin realized that the compass wasn't just a key, it was a weapon, capable of channeling the lost magic of the ancient civilization. But using it would require them to confront their deepest fears and embrace the memories they had inherited from the past. He felt a strange connection to the people he saw in the fragmented visions. Artisans, scholars, families torn apart by the sundering. A fierce battle ensued. Kenny's quick thinking allowed him to anticipate the usurper's attacks. Luis used his analytical skills to identify weaknesses in its defenses, and Freddy, surprisingly agile, provided crucial support. Kevin, guided by Shauna's instructions, focused his will through the compass, attempting to disrupt the usurper's hold on El Yunque. He felt a surge of power coursing through him, ancient magic responding to his intent. The final confrontation was a whirlwind of light and shadow. As Kevin channeled the ancient magic, he saw glimpses of his grandfather, not as an old man researching dusty mats, but as a young scholar fighting alongside the original guardians to protect El Yunque. He understood then that his grandfather hadn't been chasing a legend. He had been carrying on a legacy, a sacred duty passed down through generations. With a final surge of power, Kevin redirected the usurper's energy back into itself, causing it to dissipate like smoke. The fractured memories began to coalesce, and the veil between worlds slowly started to mend. The golden city shimmered once more, no longer a ghostly echo but a vibrant reality, though only visible for fleeting moments. Shauna smiled sadly.
The balance is restored. For now.
She warned that vigilance was still required, as the usurper could return. As they stepped back through the fog, El Yunque returned to its familiar state, a quiet clearing in the woods, the ancient Tabonuco standing sentinel over a secret that would remain safe, at least until another generation dared to seek it out. The compass faded from Kevin's hand, becoming just an ordinary antique once more, a silent reminder of their extraordinary journey.
Footsteps fade, the cold wind grins, each story told, where it begins, a final note, the static spins, the clip is done, let night creep in. Thank you for listening to the clip, where shadow goes dance.